Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you, I guess, again for the It Chapter 2 spoiler review. So, I'm going to discuss what I'm going to be talking about in this spoiler review and with everything I've watched in this movie and let you know what I thought of this movie and each scene that I saw through. So, let's dive into this video. Now, if you guys have not seen this movie, do not watch this spoiler review because I will be spoiling everything that happens in it. But if you have seen this movie, let's continue with the video. Now, I was gonna make this video like yet tomorrow, but I just wanted to throw it out there because uh, that way I don't have to do it tomorrow and I have less videos to do tomorrow. But yeah, in the beginning of the movie, it showed this gay couple or whatever that gets beat up, and then one of them gets thrown over the bridge, and like some kind of hate crime or something that they have against this gay couple, which is really fucked up. But yeah, the one of the gay guys gets thrown over the bridge after he gets beaten up by these guys, by this guy or whatever. And then Pennywise comes in to his rescue and then eats his heart out. And it's really messed up. And then that's where Mike comes into the crime scene or whatever, that where it happened. And pretty much on the bridge wall it said, "Come home, come home, come home." 3 times it said that. And then Mike calls Bill, Beverly, Ben, Richie, Eddie, and Stanley as well. And you already, well, right when he called Stanley, Mike did, Stanley decided to go to the bathtub and cut his wrists and kill himself because he didn't want to face that catastrophe again, or that nightmare again, because pretty much you can kind of say he pussied out. But that's kind of wrong of me to say that, but it's pretty much what happened. He pussied out. His character pussied out, not the actor himself. But, yeah, most likely this movie does drag on a lot. It's pretty much 3 hours. But right when they get to Derry, they go to the Chinese restaurant, when all of them meet together. And then, Mike asks them that why they're there or whatever, and they're there to kill the thing, there to kill it. And Pennywise, they're gonna kill him officially in this movie, which I'll come to what happens to him at the very end of this review. Pretty much, when they're at the restaurant, they notice that one of the members is missing, and then they get this fortune cookie saying that could Stanley gets cut or whatever it says on it, and it's really messed up. And guess Stanley could not cut it or whatever he said, or it said on there, I'm not sure. And then Mike starts banging the table with the chair because he sees these weird creatures that come out of the fortune cookie shells, and it's really disgusting. And then you see Mike banging the table with the chair because there's like this black goo coming out of it, which is really gross. And then that's where Bill Hader as Richie says, we'll get the check, please. And then it shows them going their separate ways, mostly to remember their memories or something. And it shows Beverly going to that Mrs. Kirsch's house, and where you see her as the naked lady, and it gets very weird after that. It's very graphic. It shows her naked, and she's running after Beverly and knocking her down, and pretty much after that it then shows Pennywise with the makeup or whatever, and it's really creepy, and he gives that laugh, and then Beverly's just like, fuck you, and closes the door on him. And then it goes to, I think Richie is the next character, and it pretty much, he is afraid of clowns, so Pennywise doesn't have to use a different form, so he just comes as his own. And he's like, I know your secret or something. And they're remembering past memories as well while they're confronting Pennywise and living their greatest nightmares again. And what they're afraid of as well. And then it shows Eddie, I think, is the next one, where he pretty much has to deal with the leper, and it pretty much spits this black goo on him, and it's really disgusting. Oh, and Henry Bowers is after them as well in this movie. He comes back or whatever. I thought he died in the first one. I didn't know he survived that. But they gotta keep his character alive, because that's what they did in the original It movies, where they, in the 90s It movie, where they had Henry Bowers coming after them, but he stabbed Eddie in the face or whatever in this movie, and it was pretty gross. And then he tried stabbing him as well. And they finally killed him in the library when Mike was getting attacked by Henry. And yeah. Then it showed Bill or whatever confronting his greatest fear, which was seeing Georgie again in that sewer thing or whatever. And then these hands climb on him, and it's really disgusting. And then the kid that comes up to him and says, "You okay, mister?" And he's like, "Don't ever go in that sewer at all." And he's like, "Get out of Derry," and all that. This is what James McAvoy's telling the kid as Bill. James McAvoy as Bill's telling the kid to not go in that sewer and to stay out of Derry. And then it goes to where they meet up again in that hotel or whatever. And they pretty much are freaking out because they confronted Pennywise in different forms. And Pennywise is terrorizing them again. And Ben was... I forgot to mention that Ben was the one that, I didn't see him get terrorized at all. I don't think they showed him getting terrorized. They showed him in a past memory getting terrorized by the clown. And yeah, pretty much they, Bill goes to find the kid or whatever at the fair, and then the kid gets chomped up by Pennywise, which is really disgusting. He tries to break his face through the glass, and it's really disgusting when he opens his mouth and breaks through the glass and eats the kid up. That's really gross. He does that with a little girl too, and chomps her face. I forgot to mention that earlier in the review. I apologize for that. But he chomps her face like that or whatever, and it's really gross. But I'll have to come back at you for part 2 of the spoiler review. I don't want to make these too long because I won't have enough phone space to do the next review for it. But I hope you enjoyed the first part of this review, and I'll see you in the next part.